Did Michters pull the old bait and switch with their 10-year bourbon? Today we're going to be putting head-to-head the 23A release and then the 23E. Was the first batch really as legendary as everybody said? And are the most recent batches really getting worse? Find out today. Welcome back to another episode of Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner, and today we're putting two different Michters 10-year bourbons head-to-head in a blind battle to see which one's better. Now, before we get going on the blind, I just want to give a little background on this topic, the reason why I think that this blind is going to be pretty important. Now, in 2022, Michters did not release their 10-year bourbon, and Michters put out a note saying that they thought that the barrels just needed at least one more year of aging to really deliver, a profile that they would feel worthy of the Michters 10 brand. And in 2022, those barrels were already well over 10 years aged. So then in 2023, when those barrels were ultimately bottled, people were under the assumption that these 23 releases were all going to be closer to like 14 to 15-year-old bourbon instead of, closer to 10, which is what they normally are. Now, once people started getting the batches and people started comparing them, rumors have it that, these later batches taste significantly different than what the original batches. This bottle here is the 23A. Right there on the neck tag. It's got the 23A on it. And then this sample here is 23E. So I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Tim. Thank you so much for sending me the sample. I really appreciate it. Wouldn't be able to do this blind without you. So thank you so much. All right. So just want to go ahead and get into these glasses. I have mixed them up. I do not know which one's which. I have been warming up with a little bit of the Michters, regular bourbon. And by the way, this bottle is freaking killer. Tons of caramel, great cinnamon notes, hints of fruit in there. You get a little bit of oak spice in there. So don't sleep on this bottle. $45. It's good. Anyways, off to the first glass. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, man, that is, again, like this bottle is coming in, I think it's 94.4 proof. Yeah, 94.4 proof, so 47.2%. I mean, this nose just like explodes out of the glass. I mean, you get like such like deep, rich, like that oaky cinnamon chariness that you can like get in like a well-aged bourbon. It like reminds me a lot of like the Jack Daniel's 12. Anyways, I'll stop talking. Off to the palate. Cheers. Wow. Huh. Yeah, so got a good amount of oak. It kind of like hits you like in the tongue like pretty quick right there. And then it kind of gives me like a bunch of different like colors of like Jolly Rancher, like hard candy sweetness. It's very sweet on the palate. The finish wasn't, too terribly long. It's still going for a little bit. Ahead and get into one more. I was getting a lot of oak on the nose. I don't feel like all that oak necessarily like transferred over to the palate as much. It's still very good. It's got a great, decent viscosity there, but like it's just really sweet, and it's like a rainbow of Jolly Rancher hard candy sweetness. It's very like confectionery sugar, the berry, appley, kind of sweetness there on the palate. I mean, amazing bottle there. Let's go ahead and compare it to glass 2. Yeah. Yeah, okay. This glass 2 definitely is very similar in terms of like that like oaky like nose profile with like that like charry cinnamon notes that I get in like a well-aged bourbon. It just seems to be like amped up a little bit more on this glass. Yeah, dang. I mean, this glass 2 is just really exploding there. Anyways, it only matters how it tastes on the palate. Off to the palate. Cheers. Oh, wow. Yeah. So the oak is definitely way more prominent there on the palate on glass 2 than I was getting on glass 1. You just get so much of like that charry cinnamon there. And like the berries, like instead of it being be like a bunch of like a rainbow of like the Jolly Rancher hard candies. It seems to be more of like a blackberry-ish there with a lot of like brown sugar and vanilla, where this one was more confectionery sugar sweet. Let's go ahead and give it for one more. Yeah, I mean, glass 2 just really explodes there. Give it anyway. Let's go back to glass 1. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the flavor profiles there are pretty similar. So on glass 1, picking up a lot more vanilla. The oak is really lacking there. The berries are a lot brighter, and they're more confectionery sugar. What I was getting back with like that Jolly Rancher hard candy. Like the finish on glass 1 seemed to be like pretty short, whereas like I can still taste like that oak sizzle, you know, kind of on the finish, you know, just kind of lingering around. And like for like a 94.4 proof bottle, I think that's pretty impressive. You're getting a lot deeper, like richer oak notes, which is something that, you know, really sings out to me. You know, like the Calumet 16 year, I'll say it again. Love the oak that you get on that bottle. So if you want to know what I'm talking about with that sweet oak profile, get yourself a Calumet 16, because that bottle, freaking love it. Anyways, but so sorry to go on a rant about Calumet 16 when we're talking about Michters 10 bourbon. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call this one, give this one to glass 2. Yeah, glass 2 there. So overall, I think the nose was way more robust. Like from right off the get-go, it exploded out of the glass more. You really picked up on a lot more of that oak profile. So, you know, I would say that this glass is older than this glass. But, you know, hey, I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead and see who the winner is. Oh! So that's an A. So the 23A was the victor. And you know, the 23E came in second. So, I mean, like, these are both, you know, really good bottles. I do think that the 23A definitely stood out. The nose was definitely significantly more robust. It really shined through on the palate, and the finish, you know, really sang home. Like, the finish on, you know, glass 1 didn't really compare, you know, to, like, how long, like, that lingering oak stuck around on my palate. So, like, to me, I think there is a clear divide between the 23E and the 23A. But, you know, hey, like, if I didn't have these two to, like, put side by side, I still think that this is, like, a really good bottle, and I would be incredibly happy with it. You know, I don't know, like, 185, like, that's a rich price to pay for, like, any 94.4 proof bourbon. But, you know, I ended up spending, like right around, like, $200 for this one, you know, before tax. I think I got it for $205. But anyways, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you have, would you please let me know in the comment down below, have you been able to try one of the more recent batches of, you know, the Michters 10? Do you agree, you know, with the outcome here? Have you had the 23A? What do you think about the 23A? This was a blast of a review to do today, guys, and want to say thank you so much, Tim, for shooting me over this sample. Wouldn't have been able to do this without you. So as always, guys, this is Neat Bourbon. My name's Tanner, and pop the bottles and share the pours, and we'll see you in the next one.